Okay, next we're going to change the processing time on the server. Right, by default the processing time has a mean of 1, and we're going to change it to have a minimum value of 1, a mode of 2, and a maximum value of 3. Now you notice on the server we have a line on each side. This line here represents the input queue, and we're going to just rearrange it. We're going to place it as a vertical line above the server. The line over here is the output buffer queue, and we're going to move it around also and have it be a vertical line on the output side of the server. Now, the next step we're going to do is we're going to pick up a sink from our standard library and drag it over here into our model. And then we're going to connect the output from the server to the input of the sink using a path. And we're going to make this path be what's called a bidirectional path. By default, it only allows traffic in one direction, but we're going to change it to bidirectional, which will allow our vehicle to run back and forth on the same path. Okay, next we're going to add our vehicle to the model. So we'll drag our vehicle out. And we'll set the speed of the conveyor of that vehicle to be 7. We're also going to set the parking rule to be park at home. What that says is whenever this vehicle becomes idle, it's going to return home and park and wait for something to do. Okay, next we're going to take the output node from the server and we're going to set the what's called the ride option to true. And what that says is that entities leaving the server, instead of running directly on the path, are going to wait and request a ride to get to the sink. Now notice when we set that to true, down at the bottom here, the error window popped up. What this error window is showing us is that we have an error in the model right now, and the reason we have an error is because we've said that we want to ride on a transporter, but we haven't told it which transporter we want to ride on. If we double click on the error, it will take us right to the field that is an error in the property grid, and then we can select the transporter we want, which in this case is vehicle 1. And then the error goes away. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a parking queue where this vehicle can park when it's idle. So we'll come up here, select queue, and we'll just draw a parking queue where the vehicle will sit whenever it's not busy. And we'll specify that the queue that we're going to animate is the output queue from server 1, its parking station. Oh, and one last thing I forgot to do here is the vehicle, we need to tell the vehicle where it's going to initially start. And so we'll select the vehicle and come over here and set its initial starting node to be the output at server 1. And so that's its home node that it will sit at. So at this point, we're ready to run the model. So we go to the Run ribbon, hit the Run button, and we see our model running. We see our entities coming in from both sources, joining at the merge point, riding on the slower conveyor to the server, And then we see the transporter running back and forth, picking up items. We see the entities in the output queue here waiting to be picked up. If there's 2 or more, it will pick up 2 of them. If there's only 1, it will pick up the 1. And every once in a while, the transporter is idle, so it sits up here in the parking queue.